What's your unique edge as an entrepreneur? Maybe it's your ability to build relationships or your persistence in solving tough problems. Your edge is what helps you stand out and gives you an advantage over others in the field. Curiosity. That's the desire to challenge the status quo and to see if something different will work better. Relationship building. You can't know everything by yourself. You need relationships to hire people, select vendors, reach out to new clients, and learn from other experts. You can't achieve some of the key steps of entrepreneurship without knowing how to expand your network. Adaptability. Are you willing to modify and adjust as you do more market research and test out your assumptions and ideas? Decisiveness. Are you willing to stick by your decisions because you truly believe in them? Self awareness. What are your strengths and weaknesses? Risk tolerance. What's the risk reward ratio that you could handle? Comfort with failure. You don't fear failure as something that will hold you back. Persistence. You're willing to learn when things don't go your way. Innovative thinking. This is where a lot of us like to spend our time, but it's about solving problems in a different way. Long term focus. This isn't about just having a lasting vision or mission. It's the willingness to do this every day. It's the willingness to do this every day for years and even decades. It's the consistency that'll make a difference as an entrepreneur. So now take a moment to identify your strengths and think about how you'll leverage them as an entrepreneur. Now it's time for a quick self assessment. Review the characteristics of an entrepreneur and rate yourself based off the schedule. Exceptional. Think of 1 to 2 things you're exceptional at. You're at the top 10%. Pick 1 to 3 characteristics where it's one of your best strengths. Then pick 3 to 4 characteristics that's a core strength of yours. And then a few that are, neither here nor there. And then most importantly, list some of the growth areas. This is really important for you to be aware of because not every entrepreneur is going to be good at everything. And understanding your strengths and weaknesses will allow you to figure out where you need to fill gaps and get support. Now, take the things that you're really good at, and I want you to define your edge. For example, maybe you selected relationship building as your edge. Are you really good at it? How many followers do you have? How big is your contact list? How many subscribers do you have to your content? How many potential early adopters can you identify? Another example, comfort with failure. A lot of us think that we're comfortable with failure. And many of us use the term fail forward. I really hate that term. But the question is, how many times can you fail before you give up? How big can those failures be? Let me give you a couple examples. Did you know that 3M stands for Minnesota Mining and Manufacturing? What do you think they started out as? Procter and Gamble started as a candle company until the advent of electricity, and then they had to pivot. They had a lot of oil to make candles, and eventually they converted it to Crisco. So you can see that many companies have tried things and failed, and this is your opportunity to think about what are the characteristics that you have that allow you to be an entrepreneur and to have that entrepreneurial edge. You might realize by now that a bit more work needs to take place in order to find your niche. Sometimes the idea you start with may not be the idea you end with, and along that journey, there are characteristics as an entrepreneur that you need to have. Lessons 4 and 5 will deep dive into the lean canvas, so don't worry. Well, I recommend taking a few days to reflect before you deep dive into the next lesson. It'll be more effective when you've taken some time to really think about what you've learned in lesson 3. Think broadly about the market. Think about the problem you want to solve. Consider the network that you have and assess where you're really at.